Hi there, this is Jordan Parks with a how-to video using MS Paint, and this is how to draw a horse. Now, first thing you want to do, open up your MS Paint, nice blank page here. I am going to draw a more traditional horse, and we're going to wait to do the background. We want to sort of get an idea of our horse shape first, and then we'll do the background. So I'm using the number 2. We'll stick with the calligraphy brush number 1. That is my go-to, and I'll just use a nice black. Now, horses have this weird long nose, sort of like this. That's the main part of the horse. And then they also have eyes. Lots of mammals have eyes. So here is a nice horse eye. And with their long nose, they also have a mouth attached to it. Sort of like this. They're almost always smiling. And if you've ever gotten really close to a horse, you notice that they have these little weird eyelashes. Very strange. Now, the good thing about having not done our background yet is that it's all white. So to make the horse eye, which is actually not black, it's like a very dark gray blue. We don't actually have to fill that in with white because it's already white. So there's that dark gray blue. And this reminds me of a horse named Infinity that I used to have as a young boy that had a little bit of green in her eye, sort of like that. Okay, and of course the other eye is on the other side of the nose, which we can't see. And I use size number 1 to do those eyelashes, so I'm going back to size number 2 so that I can draw the ears. And horse ears are a little bit weird. I'm going to start with the far back ear. They're just these little triangles. Just little triangles. And notice how far it is in location to the eye. Take your back eyelash and it's just a little hop over like that. And then whenever I draw animals, I like to give them this in the ear, and then I do the inside of the ear pink like this. Pay close attention to this technique right here. And then I'll take a darker pink because inside the ear it's a little bit darker, and I will use a small paintbrush and I'll just like that. And this horse is, we'll base this off the one that I knew when I was younger. It is a brown horse, a dark brown horse, like this. Okay, now we need to go back to our black and our calligraphy brush, size number 2. No, size number 1, and we need to draw the rest of the body. So horses have a long neck as well, sort of like this, but they have this weird large barrel shape to them, sort of like this. Now you may have seen horses that don't look like this. That's fine, but most horses do look like this, and they have these huge weird nostrils like this. And again, just like with the eye, there's one on the other side that we don't actually see, and I'm going to use the same technique from the ear but using a dark brown inside of the horse nose color, and I'm just going to fill that and use the bucket. There we go. And I'm going to try to get rid of those white lines that MS Paint seems to think are so amazing, and they're not. Okay, now the horse color. This ear should be the same color as my horse. Now let's see. Oh, got a little gap right here. So we'll fill that. Okay, there's our horse. And our horse has white teeth. I actually don't need to do that because my background is still all white. Now I will get my pencil crayon and draw in some lines because my horse is smiling. And my horse needs legs. Those legs are going to be painted on using the main brush. Just the number 1 brush. Actually, I remember this horse, Felicity, that's who we're drawing. She would always do this thing with her hoof and go make that sound that horses make. And they got that big, gross, ugly toenail on the end that freaks me out. She's got to be standing on this hoof, which also has that big, gross toenail. And then the weird thing about their back legs is that they're sort of like flamingo legs in that they're backwards. Just like that. Really stupid animals. And their toenails are this gross. Well, I think they're gross. Maybe you don't. But they're like this gross yellow color. Yeah. And the legs on this horse. Oh, I remember they were dark and shaggy. And that's good because I can show you a trick on how to make things shaggy. Get your paintbrush, go to the number 2, the oil brush, make it nice and small. Take the color you were just using, but I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. Just make this horse look shaggy. There, look at that. That is a shaggy horse. That is a shagster. Just like that. Yeah. Like little worms all over the legs. And then horses have tails. This horse had we'll use this brush. Nice big brush. Yeah, nice big brush. This horse had a tail that just tucked under like that. And some people like to paint the tails. They give them these weird... Well, someone did this to my horse. What was her name? Felicity. As an April Fool's joke, they painted her tail like a rainbow. And then it had these like purple lines going up it. Sort of like that. And then I'm gonna, well, since this is my horse that I'm remembering from when I was just a young little boy, I'm gonna draw myself in here with my horse riding hat. There it is. Sort of like that. Then I had that really uncomfortable chin strap I never liked. And then we can decide here, should I be facing forward or backwards? I'm going to be facing backwards. So this is the back of my head. But then the chin strap doesn't make any sense. So this would have to be the front of my head. No, this is the back of my head. There's my hair. Okay. And the chin strap will actually be sort of like that. There we go. That's how you get out of that mess. My neck's really skinny for some reason. There's my horse shirt that I would wear. I've always sort of been this shape. This weird shape. Again, you can make this however you want. This is just to give you an idea of how to draw the horse itself. Make sure you get the smile. Just do the one eye, because there's an eye on the other side that you don't see. A lot of people will mistakenly draw that extra eye in there, and then it just looks like a weird Picasso type painting. Those horse helmets are a weird gray color. My hair was always this weird yellowish brown. Here we go. That's sort of what my hair always looked like. My skin, I was just a little pink, pale little boy. And my horse shirt that I would always wear was this bluish color. I don't remember the background being like that. That's an issue with this paint program. You gotta fill in all those little spots. Oh, there's another one down here. Okay. There we go. That was that blue color that I liked. And I remember I always had this weird horse design on the back. How did it look though? Can't remember. I can't really remember it, so instead I'm just gonna do that a nice check mark, because it's so easy to draw. Just fill it in. You can use whatever childhood shirt design you used as a child in your childhood. There's my hands. If you watch my other video on how to draw hands, it'll make this a little bit easier. And I'm gonna switch back to my nice pen brush here. And I had horse riding pants that were a very dark brown. There we go. Now the background color. Well, it was in a horse pen type thing, but I can't really draw those, so I'm just gonna go with my go-to, which is draw a line a little over halfway up the screen. Maybe I'll draw some hay bales just to make it seem a little more realistic. There's a 3D hay bale. There's one of those marshmallow ones. It's marshmallow hay bales. And the sky should be a nice light blue. And the grass was a yellowy color. Those hay bales were always a yellowy greenish color. So I'm actually going to get the green out, get my brush, use my pencil crayon, and I'm just going to put some lines on that hay. You can see, I might have to make a separate hay drawing video. There we go, that looks like hay. And this marshmallow hay bale I can just leave white, because that's how they do it. So this is me getting ready to ride on my horse. And I always rode bareback. It didn't have the saddle on it. And I'm told that's actually kind of dangerous. Oh, I made a big mistake here. It looks like I have giant ears, but I'm actually it's that stupid chin strap. And there I am with my horse. I made one more mistake. I'm not done yet. I didn't fill in my hands. And I didn't fill in the background behind my hands. There we go. Now choose a nice dark blue and a nice marker. And always make sure to sign your name so no one can take credit for your stuff. There we go. Jordan Parks. And this was 2017. And that is how to draw a horse. I should save this. I will save it. There we go. And I will be making a new video very shortly.